Folks, for inviting me back. Hello everyone. Good morning. It is still morning. Yes, it is. I don't know what time zone I'm in, so I'll trust you people to tell me if I get it wrong. My name's Grant Allen. I'm a technology program manager and architect at Google, and I'm here to talk to you this morning a little bit about Glass and a little bit more about you all being Glass developers. So let's just show the ubiquitous logo. That's Glass. This is what I've just said. Enough about me for a minute, though. I just mentioned that Glass and Glass developers are near and dear to my heart. How many of you think that you are a potential Glass developer? It's not enough hands. I want more hands, especially over here. How many of you folks want to be a Glass developer? How many think it's something you do by the end of today? No, you all need to put your hands up. You're all going to be Glass developers by the time we're done today. Or at least have ideas to get you started down the path of Glass development. A lot of the examples I'll show, a lot of the references to content and so forth are all available on developers.google.com/Glass. It is a rapidly evolving site. As those of you who follow Glass are aware, it's still a fairly nascent technology. There's a lot going on in terms of development kits and so forth. And the content here changes pretty much, well, if not daily, at least weekly. So feel free to jump back to this site at any point. For those of you who've got working mobile coverage here and a data service, you could even be on the site right now if you wanted to be. We will try and test it out. My colleagues up the back have said I have full internet access from here, even though apparently there are a few other people using the wireless here, just one or two. So it might be a bit slow. Okay, I'll spoil the surprise by letting you know what we'll be talking about. A little bit about me, but not much. I'm boring. Glass is far more interesting than I am. A little bit about what Glass is and isn't, and in particular what it is and what it could be for you, the Glass developer. Why you should care. Some guidelines to get you thinking right now. You might be thinking, like me, I've worn Glass a few times, but I'm still in the queue to get one, and I don't see... Has anyone in the audience actually used Glass? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so about 10 people. So notice who those people are, follow them afterwards and see if you can find their... No, I'm kidding. Even if you don't have it, even if you are like me waiting until 2014 for the release, you can start planning, designing, and developing right now. And that's what I expect you to do. I expect you to all get up at the end of this half hour. No, I don't. Actually, I want you to stay here for the following presentations. They're all great. But this afternoon, when we're done, you could all be out developing for Glass. Okay. My day job is not as exciting as you might think. It is not directly involved with Glass and Android. It's involved with the behind-the-scenes things, mainly around payments and payment processing and so forth for Android. So, fun with money, but not with the actual technology day-to-day. I've been with Google about 7 years. I'm now based in New York, and I do a lot of speaking at conferences like these, open source conferences and so forth. But the reason I'm here is what I do in my spare time. Make problems for other people, basically. Ask the difficult questions about, why can't we do what we want to do right now with this technology, and helping other people adapt to and use and develop for things like Android and Glass. That led me to a misspent youth, or a misspent last few years, writing some books, or co-writing some books, and this is really where AppsWorld asked me to be involved. It's the background in all three. The one on your right, my left, is actually something I've just been asked to be involved with. It'll be the next version of Pro Android, whatever version number that's going to be, so you can look for that one soon. Okay, so like I said, not a lot about me because I'm not the interesting thing here, it's Glass. So let's talk a little bit about what it is. We like to call this both a new experience and a new technology at the same time. A good friend, well, a colleague, I should say, of mine, Timothy Jordan, I'd like to be his friend. I think he's too busy traveling the world talking about Glass as well. He tells a great story, which I'm going to tell you. So, how many of you have been to a concert recently? Music, maybe a festival, Glastonbury, in the mud, something like that. Okay. How many of you have the experience where first band gets up, starts playing, and a lot like this gentleman here, half the people in the audience are watching the stage, and the other half of the people in the audience are watching the concert through their phone. Right? And I see some sheepish nods in the audience of, oh yeah, that was me, I've done that. You have to ask yourself, why are you doing that? Right, you're immersed in one experience, you're there for the music and for the people and the event, but you're also trying to capture memories and ideas and so forth. But to me, it's a really awkward experience to try and take in something live, looking through literally the tiny screen up here. Something's happening over here, but I'm watching it through this thing. Not necessarily the greatest experience. With Class, one of the motivators, if you like, was to completely change that experience with technology, to let people get the technology out of the way. We use these phrases of it's technology that's there when you need it, but out of the way when you don't. So